Okay, so I've got a 2013 Transit Connect. I've been trying to figure out how to add fog lights in the factory location in the bumper. This one actually doesn't have the removable placements for the fog lights. This is the solid bumper, not the other one. So what I did is actually used a 3-inch hole saw, and I drilled the center of those keepers out, and all I did was I epoxied in some LED 3-inch fog light in there. This is an XLT that I have. It came with the wiring in place for the fog lights, and I do have fog light indicator on here. If you can look right here. Oh, let me show you. So right there, you rotate the switch clockwise and you pull it out, and it turns fog light on. I assumed that was front fog light, but that's actually rear. So that answered another question of mine. The rear brake lights had a second pair of bulbs that I didn't know how to turn on. Well, that's your rear fog lights. So if you pull this switch out, it activates the lower pair of bulbs on your tail lights. So moving forward, like I said, this one had 2 wire harnesses right where those fog lights should have been. So I presumed that those were for fog lights. And then I looked, so I wired them into those after I epoxied the lights in. And then I started tracing the wiring diagram and noticed that it was missing both the shut-off relay here for when you turn your high beams on, and as well, there's another relay in here for the actual front fog lights. And I'll show you those real quick. So this one here is empty when you don't have the fog light option. So you have to put one of these in, okay? And then also this 15 amp, hold on, let it focus. Okay, so this 15 amp right here, so 4 over, second one down, that one was blank on mine. It's a 15 amp fuse. You have to put that in there. Okay, and then in here, this is your actual front fog light relay right here. It doesn't come with one in this, so you have to install this one here. Okay. So once you do those 3 things, it leaves you with how to turn on your front fog lights, because obviously this isn't the one that has the front fog light switch in it. Well, since we know the wiring's there and we know we have the relays and everything, I thought surely the wire should be in here for the front fog lights. So I did some investigating. I noticed that there was a pin broken on the back of this switch connector where the harness plugs into. So I looked up what that pin was, and sure enough, that's the 12-volt positive out to the relay for the front fog lights. So what I'm going to do, so you have 2 options. You can do what I'm going to do, or you can replace this switch with one that has the double pull out, to where it's one for rear. I think it's one for front and one more click for rear. You can do that option, but the one I'm going to do is cheap, or it's free basically after you do the 2 relays and fuse. So all you got to do, so to get this switch out too, by the way, you have to pull this cover. It takes a flat head right here, pop it open, and then there's 2 clamps. I'll show you. Sorry, the lighting's horrible in this camera, but or this video. You see these 2 clips here, right here, and right here. You pinch those down like that. Yep. And then you push it. Then you push it forward from behind through that hole. Okay, and it comes right out. So once you do that, I could show you the inside, but you don't really have to. So 34B, or 83B I should say, is this, that's horrible freaking lighting. So is this second one here from the right there, okay? This one here is your rear fog light. This one is your front fog light. I'm not sure what this one is, I didn't look it up. But anyway, all you do is you get a wire jumper, because I don't want to damage the wiring, because I might eventually put the other switch in, but whatever. All you have to do is this one here, the first one here facing you when it's hanging down like this, that's your 12 volt to your rear, but it's just the relay. It doesn't hold any current, so it's not a big deal that we piggyback these. So you just make a jumper from that one to this one, and when you do that, the front fog lights will come on, and it works like a charm. So I'm tickled to death that that wiring is actually on this for them, and it's not that difficult. And I'll show you what I've got here. So you see, I just hole sawed that center cap, and I shoved these high output LEDs in there and epoxied them, and it looks pretty dang good. Yep. So I figured I searched for a long time for somebody else of how they retrofitted these, and because these are more work vehicles, there was just really nothing online. So I hope this will help somebody, because it took me a couple hours of, well, it took me a few hours over the course of a few days to figure out what was going on with this. But I hope it helps somebody out. I appreciate it. Have a good night.